Excuse me.
It's
Okay.
It's so bad I do that while you're recording because that's gross.
as
Oh, by
soon as
the
I
way,
hit
is swear
recording.
words bad?
What?
Oh, if you start, oh damn.
This is welcome back to the Invalid Nit-Wits podcast. What a great way
Wait,
to
you
start.
started it?
This is how it usually goes, Soup.
Can we swear on here? Is it okay if we swear on here?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, nice.
100%. Well, welcome back. I'm your host, Control, with your co-host, Turtle, Jakey Boy, and we have a very, very special guest. For those who don't know him, he is Suprazboy. You can check him out on Twitch at twitch.tv, Suprazboy.
.nd.com.
Oh yeah, 100%. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, for the people who might not know you?
Okay. Shit. All right. Let me think about this. What am I gonna say? First of all, yeah. No.
Oh, okay,
Shit.
okay.
I wasn't
Yeah,
remember.
100%,
Okay. No, I
100%.
got this. I got this.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
So my name's Suprazboy. My actual first name is my real name, and that's Carl. Carl with a K, not with a C. I come from New Zealand. I do stream on Twitch. I do that. It's a bit of fun. Quite enjoy it actually. It's quite a good time. It's quite a vibe. And I've been doing that for shit. I must have been doing that for about 9 months now.
Wow,
Um,
sheesh.
yeah, it's been a little while. I must have I must not be far off my my stream anniversary. So that's pretty crazy.
Oh, nice.
But I do all sorts on stream. I play video games, specifically the ones I'm really enjoying playing lately are horror games on stream and screaming like a little girl. That's fun. I sing a little bit. I play a bit of guitar. And I just like talking shit. Really, I do a lot of that. I'm really good at that actually.
Yeah, so before
Um,
we hopped into here, Jakey was actually wondering like what you do for streams, and I was talking about how you're like a variety streamer, like you are just everything. You do a little bit of everything, every little piece of different types of video games, even like chat interactive stuff, singing, all of this other stuff, and I
right.
find that pretty cool.
Yeah, so like for example last night it was Easter, at least for the States. So I was like, oh shit, what can I do? What's something wacky I can do? I've got an Easter hat, that's nice. I'll just scoff an Easter egg as quickly as possible. So I put a timer on and I did that. And I wasn't trying to break any records or
What
anything
was
like
your
that. Not
time?
that I 1 minute 52 I think it was
Oh,
when I
nice.
stopped.
Yes, yeah.
But it was fun. Like I just like messing around. When I started streaming, I don't think I knew what kind of streamer I'd be. I don't know if you can know what kind of streamer you'll be before you start. Not really. I think you
100%.
know maybe you have an idea of what you might be good at, but I think you need to give it a go to kind of figure out. So that before I started streaming, the only streamer I watched, the only reason I really knew what Twitch was, not because I'm a like fucking boomer or anything. I just didn't spend time on
Boomer
Twitch.
soup.
It's yeah. Uh wait, what's a cellular device? What's that one? No, but seriously. Was XQ Cal. So that's
Hmm.
the Felix Lingual, the Canadian streamer. And he was a professional Overwatch player. I can't remember the team he is on, but he played a tank, and that was Winston. He was a Winston main. And so all I knew of streaming was some idiot French Canadian guy who didn't have any overlay. He had nothing. It's just him on the screen. You can barely understand what the hell he's saying half the time. So when I got into streaming, that's all I knew streaming to be was
Was
that.
just gibberish
So,
and no overlay.
yeah. So it took a little while for me to realize I like doing a lot of shit. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just do it all on stream, and that's where I'm at now. Variety streaming.
Oh, all right. So
Mm.
have you always like ever thought of streaming, even like when you were watching a streamer? Because I know you've talked about like how you actually like really got into streaming. With you were talking about how your buddy was talking about how you're like, oh, you'd be a perfect streamer this, and so you tried it out. But have you always thought about like streaming?
I've always thought about content creation. I've pretty much dabbled in every form of content creation possible. and maybe that's why I'm a variety streamer, because I've done so many things. I know you guys, because you've watched my stream, you'll probably see that at times I might put up some of the short films that I've done
Hmm.
with friends and whatnot. I don't know if I thought I'd be a streamer. In fact, probably not, to be honest, because streaming's. I don't think everyone should have a go at streaming, because it's quite like it's in your face. You've got to be on the ball in that moment. You've just got to like do something funny or do something stupid, or just, yeah,
100%.
maybe just be yourself. Otherwise, yeah, you just sit there kind of in silence. And at least for me, I don't want to sit in silence, because it's like, shit, well, that's a bit boring, isn't it?
Did you think you would
Um,
like get to where you are now? Well, when you started streaming?
no, shit, no, hell no. I thought I was gonna start streaming, which I did, and have like maybe one or two viewers pop in every now and then, and primarily just be talking to myself, which is exactly what I did. So before I started streaming, I read a few how-tos on how to stream, and most of them were like, just talk like you've got like a fucking hundreds of people watching you. So I was like, mean. So every time I started my stream, I'd have the stream starting screen. I wonder if I could find some of the old footage. Maybe a stream starting screen. It would come up, and then literally like 10 seconds after that, because I knew primarily maybe people might watch the VODs, I'd be like, "Hey, it's your boy Suprazboy. Good to see you, everyone. By that I mean no one. Awesome. Today I'm gonna play some Call of Duty," and I just pretend. Yeah, that's so.
I mean, that's
Yeah, I
a good
didn't
mindset to
think I'd get
have.
this. Oh, definitely, definitely. I just filled the space. I was just as loud as possible, and that's one thing I'm really good at, is being loud. So I guess for some reason, the thing is, like, it's weird. It's weird, because it's like you don't know whether people want to watch you as a streamer or even watch you at all. How do you know? How do you know that? Unless
Yeah.
you're some kind of like pretentious prick, um, you don't know. You don't know that people would like you. And if you think they will, and you're like, oh my God, 100%, so many people will like me, you're probably wrong. So it's like, I don't know. I never thought I'd get to this, just to answer your question there.
Yeah.
No clue.
Okay. So for those who do know, some of you don't, he did move into a new house, so he has like a new workspace and a new streaming den. How are you enjoying that whole new streaming area?
Okay, so I'm currently in there right now, and I'm looking up, and I'm in a barn. I'm in a barn. That's the best way to explain it. So to tell you the truth, I love the fact that it's a specific space for streaming, and I've always wanted something like that. Like, I've always wanted like a, no, I don't want to go with the stereotypical, oh yeah, the man cave, but like something that you can say, this is where I do the gaming things and
Yeah.
the nerdy things. And so I'm loving the fact that I've got that. But God dang, it's gonna take a bit of work to get it to that. Because right now, like right now it's about 4 o'clock in New Zealand, and it's warm, and in here is hot. I'm
Oh, yeah.
hot. But later tonight, I'm gonna be freezing my ass off again. So to tell you the truth, I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it. Give me my room back. I want my room back.
Where you could
But once
open
it's
your like
done,
your
oh, it'll
window
be amazing.
if
Oh
it's like
yeah,
hot.
I can't open my window. You know what happens when I open the window here? I tried to open it when I first got here. The hinges are rusted, and I
Oh,
and I cracked the window frame, so they stopped trying to open
Oh,
windows.
wow, that's rough.
Yeah.
So this is a
No.
question for this could be a question for like everybody. But we'll have Soup answer first because he's guest. What is your biggest pet peeve, whether it comes to
Biggest.
streaming or just in life in general?
Okay, my biggest pet peeve for streaming, and I'm gonna say this around streamers, and I've talked about this for a little while. You guys know, when it comes to when people donate to me, I don't even. Sometimes I don't even take the approach of thanking people. I will genuinely discourage you doing so, because I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I don't know your situation. You could be living in a box. You could be in a box, and you've given me your last cent that you were gonna go to McDonald's and grab yourself a cheeseburger. Now you're not eating tonight, and that's on me. So my pet peeve specifically, and I've seen it a little bit on like TikTok. There'll be like it's stereotypical, but it'd be like, oh, streamer girl, gamer girl, wow, you only gave me $100, where's the other 3 grand, or
Oh yeah,
jokes
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I know that most of them are joking, but personally, I think it's toxic. So that's my pet peeve as far as streaming is. I don't like when people ask or encourage donations. I don't like it.
Okay.
That's
So
my
like
pet peeve
when
with
you say
streaming.
ask or encourage, are you talking about like the streamer in general, or are you talking about like the
Yeah.
chat?
So like if the streamer's going, hey, if I hit this cheeky 360 no scope off the favela, who's
500 gifted
donating me my
subs.
next cheeseburger combo? It's like the first couple of times, okay, but after that, it's like, please, 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 please stop, please.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think that while for some it's very serious, for others it's a joke. I don't think there are many jokes that aren't seated in truth to a little degree, where they're like, I want that and I want you to give it to me. So I
I th-
discourage it.
that's fair. That's fair. I think probably one of my biggest pet peeves, I guess, when it comes to streaming or just in like real life in general, is just when people don't know that you're joking. Like you'd make it as obvious as you possibly can that you're joking, and then they get mad at you.
Oh shit.
And then it's like, come, like now you've ruined the vibe. Like, come on. Like, we're just
I
having
hear
a
you
good
there.
time. I mean, everybody in the room or everybody that's doing whatever is just having a good time joking around. And then there's a like one person that could be like at the party being like, no, you can't make that kind of joke. Like, there are some jokes, yeah, obviously like
Oh,
too far, but when it's like an obvious joke that everybody's laughing at, and there's like that one person.
I got you. That the like the killjoy of the situation. I
Yeah,
got you. Yeah, no, I get you there. And typically, I think it's typically stuff about around like it's something they've been through and they're like, oh, you can't joke about that because it's a
yeah,
serious thing. Personally, for me, I think that humor there are certain topics I think that it's a spectrum that are too
for sure,
far,
for sure.
but humor is a way that people use typically to cope with certain things. So
Yeah,
I don't know if I agree with the you really shouldn't joke about that. It's like, well, it's bringing awareness, and we're all having a giggle. Isn't that
yeah.
good? Doesn't that sound nice? So yeah, I hear you there.
Okay.
So my biggest pet peeve is very unforgiving because like it's just if I don't know somebody personally, I cannot stand if somebody I don't know personally says even the littlest dumb thing. Like it can be something just like you don't have to be very dumb to make the mistake of saying it. If I know it's incorrect, I'll get mad at it. Like it will be my pet peeve that
And I think that's fair
Got
because
you.
everybody has the right to a pet peeve. Everybody has the right to like be mad at something. But like
It
that,
just
I guess
depends
that,
on your actions based off of them.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that actually. Like I completely understand, Jakey, why you say that. So it's like, for example, if someone was to say like, oh, COVID-19, which is a bug. Well, bug typically I'd say is kind of like a colloquial term for a bacteria, like
yeah.
a cold, not a virus, which is not living thing. So would that be an example where you'd be like, no, you're wrong. It's not a bug. It's a virus.
Yeah, I wouldn't like actually call him out on it, but I would be like pissed about it in like in my head. Yeah,
Got you.
like
Yeah, no.
I just get mad at the tiniest little thing uh when somebody says something just a tiny bit stupid
Yeah.
if I
The
don't
thing with
know them.
like pet peeves too, for me at least, is like I'll get over it really fast. Like I'll be like, all right, that was uncool of you, I guess is what I'll say. But then I'll be like, all right, whatever. I mean, we can just go over it and then we'll continue to have a good time or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that should be like people's mindsets. You shouldn't like stay mad at a pet peeve, in my opinion, as long as
You
they
shouldn't
like
hold it as a grudge.
yeah.
True. Yeah, I hear you.
I'd say that one of my biggest pet peeves, on the kind of on the contrary of what Jacob said, would be like shutting people down for not knowing things, I guess.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's another one of mine.
like there's things that like I, for instance, it's hard for me to like pick up on things. So if I like uh there's a lot of things that I don't understand when people are talking, and I'll try and like ask questions about it, And then when people are like, "Oh, you're so dumb," or like, "Oh, you should know this. It's common sense." It's a really big pet peeve. Partially when it happens to me, but especially when it happens to other people around me. Um, just because I think like there's some things that everybody should know, but like um it's hard like when you're in if you put yourself in the other person's shoes, like some people just weren't raised the same way. Some people
Yeah,
like have different issues going on where they just can't learn things as quickly, and it's not cool to like make them feel bad about it.
definitely.
So
So
that would be one of my biggest ones.
what I'm getting from this is that like we all hate people.
Oh
um,
damn.
let's see here. What does a daily routine look like in the life of Suprazboy?
Okay, daily routine. Dang. Right now, it's been so chaotic because of moving house, and now I'm changing job. I start my new job tomorrow and all that kind of stuff. But
Okay.
okay, so morning. This morning, I get up at about lately 7:30, 7:45 a.m. It's quite late.
Right.
Um, have a cheeky little shower, little cheeky one. Got to be
As
clean
you
for
do,
the
as you
day,
do.
you know. You don't want smelling. People don't like that for some reason when you're walking around and you smell. And I know that it's typically if you can smell yourself, you probably stink because normally if you can't if you can't smell yourself, you could still smell, but you've become acclimatized to it. But if you can genuinely smell and you're like, oh, BO, then you probably smell quite pungent. So
Yeah.
to start the day, have a shower, good stuff. I highly recommend a loofah, good stuff. I've learned of the glorious existence of loofahs recently, so that's cool.
Nice.
I don't eat breakfast because I'm a cretin.
I'm not a big
I
breakfast
should.
person either.
Oh, but it's so good. It's
It is
amazing
it is
food at
good
the
when
end
you
of
do
the
have
day.
it, but
Yeah. But I don't. But after that, when I was working in the prison, I would drive into the prison. I'd have my key card with me and everything, and I'd be led into the prison, and I'd go in and I'd do my facilitation of rehabilitation, rehab, basically in prison. And then I'd finish. I'd have lunch at about 1. I'd do class in the morning from 9 until 12:30 with about 12 inmates, and then we'd have lunch from 1 till 2. You get an hour. Go over to the little cafe that's run by the inmates across from the unit I work in, grab myself far too much food, boost back, eat that with my co-workers, then go back to class for the second half from 1 until 3:30, and then I'd be out of the prison by 4, home by about 4:30 because the prison's out in the country,
yep.
and then I was making dinner. I was living with my brother and my sister-in-law. I'd make dinner for them because it was like my thing that I wanted to be like, here, look, I'm doing something to help around the house now that I'm
Yeah.
living with you guys. And my little box. I'm sure you guys remember my little box that I was living in. Uh, and then I'd watch a show with them while we ate, and then it'll be about 7 by the time I finished doing all that kind of stuff, and I'd boost down to my little box, and I'd quickly check to make sure stream was working properly, and then I'd hit go live, stream to about 11, finish at 11, sometimes later, back when I was living there, and then just crash, go to sleep, and wake up again at about yeah, at that point I was waking up at about 7. But nowadays
Okay.
I wake up, I go up to my little stream den, and I've been working from home and doing AVL, audio visual link, with the guys in the
Okay.
prison. So basically the same thing, but like that. So I have a very full on
You have a busy day.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel busy. It just feels full.
Yeah, 100%.
It just feels full because the job that I do as a counselor, and I'm really looking forward to being a young adult counselor again because there's really good work, and I feel like it's synonymous with streaming for me at least. because as a content creator for a bunch of typically young adults watching my stream, I can kind of act similarly to how I'd want to be as a counselor in my stream.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that, and that'll make my day look. I start at 9 till 4:30, I believe it is.
Okay.
And primarily I'll be on the road driving to and from young people's homes and stuff and checking in on them and seeing how they're doing and giving them therapy sessions
That's pretty cool work.
to yeah, it's good. I'm really looking forward to it because it's the new service. So hopefully that doesn't impact my streaming too much because I don't want to be on the other side of my country basically and need to get home and drive home and get home at like 6 and start streaming at 6:30. That
Yeah.
would be horrendous. But so yeah, I do have a busy day. I've had a lot of people say to me like, "Oh, maybe you should ease back on streaming and stream less days or stream
What fun would that
or
be?
but I love streaming. It's
Yeah,
like a
for
reward at
sure.
the end of the day because it's something I can just be myself. There's no expectations. The only expectations there are the ones I set for myself, like what I do on like my what I stream on which day.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's great. So that's my routine, and I'm hoping it doesn't change too much.
I think it's nice that you have like an actual like streaming like schedule. Because I mean, when it comes down to like me personally, sometimes I'll be like streaming here, there, and then sometimes it'll be like max of like a 3 hour stream. Me personally, if it's not like 2 or 3 hours, I don't find it a worthful stream. If I can't stream for that long, then I don't see the point of it.
I agree
That's me
with that.
personally.
I agree with that.
Um,
I stream for at least 3, and no, I like having a routine because it's like the routine's actually not for me. The routine's for people that watch me.
100%.
If they
Yeah,
know that I'm going to be on at a certain time, then they might actually have a look to see if I'm live. But if you
yeah.
don't know when I'm next live, and suddenly I'm live at 2 p.m. and you're like I don't know hell you're in a lecture theater, you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, Suprazboy went live on the fucking weirdest time. Fuck this guy. I'm taking my subway. So like that's why I think a routine is really important personally, at least for me. And I'll stick to my routine as much as good as I can.
Yeah, sure. And like it gets down to a point where like recently, I think it was Friday for us, or yeah, um, I was live for like 12 hours. I was like,
Damn.
wow. But it's like it gets to a point of like when you're streaming it, it's like, okay, wow, I really lost track of time and I'm still live. But and sometimes you don't want to end your live, you know? That's how I felt sometimes, like especially when I was doing my 24-hour stream, where I was like, all right, I am 16 hours in. I'm tired, but I don't want to end the stream. I mean, I'm having fun. But then 3 hours later, I was like, I was not feeling the same energy.
Yeah.
What is like one thing people misunderstand about you most?
Me. Mm. I think the biggest misunderstanding I get for like quite a lot, and I take it very personally because of the kind of person I am, is when people first meet me. Probably because people can be dicks. People are assholes. It's
It's because
they
they're
don't
behind a screen.
yeah. Um so like they don't realize that I'm genuine. I'm a very genuine person, and I'm just being myself. Like I'm genuinely being myself. Like I literally have it on Twitch as like my bio down the bottom. It says this is not a persona because for so many people will be like, um, when I'm streaming, I'm like this, and
Yeah.
I'm a happy guy in the woo. And then in real life, they're like, I'm not happy. I'm sad. And I'm like, no, no, be you. Be the sad guy. Because shit, maybe someone wants to see a sad guy on Twitch. You didn't think about that, did you? So it's like I don't know. I feel like it's I'll use the word disingenuous to be someone you're not on stream. I'll give like maybe an example which I think is kind of permissible is what's his name? Ah, damn. The doc.
Yeah,
The streamer.
the two-time
Tucker.
champion, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, him.
It's very much that's a full-on fucking persona because he's wearing like a wig and everything. And I've
Yeah.
seen a video of what he's like when he went through all that Twitter drama or whatever the hell. As not him. I think there's exceptions, but if you're using your name, your title, and you're just like changing yourself and trying to be something you're not on stream, I think that's incredibly tedious. And I think, yeah, it puts distrust in people because they're like,
Yeah,
well,
but
what
the
do
thing
they
with the
have to do?
Doc is that he, out of all the big streamers that I've like seen, he cares most about his community. Like
Yeah,
anytime that someone like runs into him, it's talking about how like, because most streamers are gonna be like, if they hear like, oh, you changed my life, this, that, like they think about it, but they don't think about it for long. Like Doc, like he cares. Like he will think about that for a while, and he will say like he says like, I appreciate that, this, that, and like you can even see in his face that how much he appreciates it. And that's like something
yeah,
that I think like every streamer needs, because I mean streamers become big because of their community. They should probably be taking more care of their community. I
oh
personally
yeah,
think that. Like if
oh
you're big,
definitely,
you're only there because of the people that are watching you.
exactly. No, I agree with that 100% because it's like, if you're a streamer without an audience, you're just a guy with a camera on you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I mean, everybody starts at 0, and
Yeah,
those people who have like an average of like 20, not 20, like 2.4K, like viewers minimum. They just like, it's like, I understand how it's hard to keep up with chat and all that, but then they have like this big ego on like, I'm better because I have this
yeah.
following.
Yeah, and that's part for me at least. Chat is too hard to keep up with when it gets to that point. That's right, that's true. But you can still choose to not be an absolute wanker, can't you?
Yeah,
So
honestly, yeah,
yeah,
that is true.
so
And
yeah,
like
don't
that's
let
one
that
of
be
the
a hindrance.
positive things about Doc is that like even though he's not keeping up with chat, even though it's like those in-game interactions that he has, he takes that to heart.
Yeah, that's him being a genuine person. Yeah, you're exactly right. He's a genuine person. Persona aside, his values are fantastic. And yeah, so
Yeah,
that's what I was getting at. Is like that's what people misinterpret. I think miss about me is they don't realize that I'm a genuine person because I want to be a genuine person. And I genuinely care about other people.
100%.
There's no smoke and mirrors. I just give a shit. If I didn't, why would I be a counselor? It's synonymous. That's why I'm a counselor. It's why I'm a streamer. You know. Yeah.
Exactly.
So to answer that question anyway.
And that's one of the positives about streaming is that you get to know people like in a sense that you've never met or that are completely across the world. Like for Turtle and I, when we're streaming, we are mostly streaming to people in New Zealand. There's a few people here in the States, but we are meeting these people literally across the world from us.
Oh heck yeah.
And learning so many things about like all the different cultures, all of the different like just how life is. It's just crazy. Like
100%.
things that I would not have known if I did not start streaming.
True. Yeah, and that'll continue to grow just thanks to the old interwebs. That'll get stronger and stronger, and platforms like Twitch allow it. I don't know if Twitch fosters it so much, but
Yeah,
it's an after effect of Twitch existing.
definitely.
Um, but it's a weird thing as well. Like for example, um, I met some people in person I never knew that watched my stream, and fuck, I'll tell you what, it was weird because I didn't know what they looked like. I had heard their voices a couple of times, but they knew me so well because they've been watching my stream. So
Yeah,
and it's not to say that I didn't feel like they were my friends. I consider people that watch my stream close to me. But it was they were when you first meet someone for the first time in person, even if you've been talking like on text, it's like okay, there's a certain amount of awkwardness. They
yeah.
had zero awkwardness because they're like, there's that Supraz guy, yo, and I was like,
Who the fuck are you?
yeah, oh yeah, no, yeah, oh yeah, that's you, Girl Master 69. Holy shit, bro, it's me, you. but you know what I mean? Like they'd
Yeah,
seen me so many times in person and seen me laugh at stupid shit and all that, that they felt like they had that 100% connection that you'd get only from, I think, talking to people face to face over a period of time.
definitely.
So it was
And that's
weird. It was a
that's
very
like the
weird
crazy
situation.
thing is that when like bigger streamers go out to like TwitchCon, stuff like that, and they meet all their fans, the people have been chatting in their chat.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the fact that all those people know what that person looks like, they know what they're like, what their life is like, they know what
yeah,
how they talk, this, that,
yeah,
and they're fine, and they're meeting people in like in person for the first time, and they have nothing. Like the only thing they know about them is that they're a chatter, and
yes.
that's mind boggling.
Yeah, and that's where I can see like the super fan kind of situation comes from, like where okay, so um let's just say Doc's standing in a room and he sees a guy walk past him, and a guy looks at him for a second, looks past, carries on walking. He doesn't know whether or not that's a guy that knows him very, very, very well based on his streams or not at all, and just has to base it that when he's in costume and whatnot, and he's in front of everybody, when he's in character, that any one of them could feel very, very attached to him. So
Yeah,
I think it's really important if for streamers that get to that kind of level to be really, really, really friendly and careful what they say to everybody,
100%.
because someone might have been watching them for a very long time, given them quite a bit of money, and then they just, don't give them quite as much attention as they hoped and they'd been thinking they might get in that situation. And that's someone's like villain story. That's their villain origin story. That's that shit. Like, so it's weird. It's really weird. But that's what it opened my eyes to it, and that's when I was like, holy shit, yeah, I get it. I get why this is hard work.
Yeah, I mean, like when you do have someone like that, that's like throwing like so much money at you, and then they're just hoping that this big person will recognize them because of the money that they've given.
Yeah.
And then like let's say Doc, let's just say we'll go with your example with like Doc, and then let's say that guy goes up to him and is like, "Oh my god, you're my favorite streamer. I'm this name, and I've subbed to you so many times. I've gifted so many subs. I've donated to you so many times." And he gets a, "Oh, thanks, man. Do you want a picture?" And
Yeah.
she's probably hoping for like, I don't know, something else, and that's like crazy because I mean people can only give so much, especially
Yeah.
when it comes down to that kind of extent. Like Doc can only offer so much. Like he's not gonna like offer them to like, hey, you want to come over to my house? You want to relax? You want to chill?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And
He
Especially
wanted to
when
here's
see
the
the
there's
next
so
stream
one.
setup.
many.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's so many. So like there might, like you say, Turtle. There's so many. So like on that particular day, he might have a brain fart and he forgets that um Pepperita 86 was the first guy that actually came into a stream when he did this and did that, and because brains, you only got one brain. It's one
Yeah,
stream of one brain. But every one of those guys has a brain to remember memories that they've collected about the doc, for example.
100%.
So you just, yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
It is tricky. So I know when you like kind of first started, you were kind of like Turtle and I, where you were streaming with people, but now like
Mm.
you've gone more to that like that solo streaming of you. It's just you and chat. Do you enjoy streaming with people or streaming solo more?
I think the reason that, first of all, the reason why I've kind of moved more to streaming without playing with people is that I've got so many like things that I've put set aside for each stream. So while I'm a variety streamer, I'm a structured variety streamer now.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to, I've been thinking about it lately. I do want to put a day aside, and I haven't really been doing it much lately. But I actually, no, I think I've added to it. Play with chat, basically. So not interactive stream, because interactive
Hmm.
stream is Twitch integrated games, but play with chat. And that's why I started the Minecraft thing, because I do miss playing with people, where people can just come in and whatever game we might be playing on that particular day that I put aside for that, we can play together. So lately I'm trying to get the community build going on Minecraft.
Yeah.
But the next might be a different game. It might be, okay, on this particular day I play Valorant with whoever comes in first. Boom, let's go.
Yeah.
But it's a tough one because I was playing primarily with people when I didn't have structured streams, But now that I've got structured streams, it makes it a little bit more difficult because I plan certain days for certain games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
and that's fair.
and there is a certain amount of comfort in being able to time things. So I can be like, okay, yep, no, I'm going to play this game until this exact time. But when you say, fuck it, who wants to do what and do whatever? It's like, oh shit, we've been streaming for 2 hours and I've run out of time to do that thing I was going to do.
Yeah.
But it is fun to play with people as well. So I've been rethinking how I'll be able to integrate that into stream more because I think I do prefer playing with people to without, except for horror games. Horror games, I like being immersed and feeling very alone. That would
Yeah.
be the exception.
And there are some horror games where it is genuinely fun to play with friends, like Phasmophobia, for example.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't get as scared when I'm with people because I feel nice and cozy with my friends. But yeah, I think horror streams definitely primarily would be games that I want to play by myself, so I can, and then chat can try and terrorize me with the sound alerts like chat
Like,
likes to. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm working on that actually. I'm working on how to make it so that I can play with people in chat more often.
All right. So if you do have three, tell me like the three most influential people that like have impacted like your day-to-day life or like streaming life.
Okay, let's go with streaming.
All right.
First of all, of course, I've already mentioned one, XQC. I think XQC taught me how funny just being able to have a camera on somebody and see their reactions can be.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
because he's not exactly a structured out there open loud streamer. I'm here to entertain. He's just a dude who has a bunch of people that watch him because he can say some stupid shit, and they're just sitting there waiting. They're just waiting for
They're
him to say
waiting for a
something
clip.
dumb, or yeah, exactly. And so, like, I watch some of the clips that come up of XQC on TikTok, and
Yeah.
it'll be like the slightest thing of like he looked at chat because something happened, and then he like pissed himself laughing. Like no, moments like that he was an inspiration around. I don't think that you necessarily, when you're a streamer, need to try your hardest to fill the air. You'll find if you're an entertaining person, you just fill the air naturally. It just kind of flows. Like for example, and I think I'm starting to do that. Like I'll watch back like clips and I'll be like, what the fuck did I just say? I don't remember saying that. And I'll be like, well, this is ridiculous. You can't say shit like that, Suprazboy. But it just kind of it flows. So XQC, influential. Secondly, um, around, well, basically streaming and content creation. I guess I have to give a little bit of I have to give a bit of credit to PewDiePie or
Oh,
PewDiePie,
yep.
because I used to watch him when I was younger. Once again, another Felix. I can't remember his last name, but Felix. Uh, I watched a lot of videos of him talking about not the behind the scenes so much, but just how he got to where he was, and how when he first started making YouTube videos, he would be refreshing his own YouTube clips so that it would get more views and stuff like that to try and get the clip, to get the video, the watch count up and things like that. And just watching him evolve from a person that would go, "My name's PewDiePie, aha, Rufus," to this guy who's making these horrendous clips on the internet and
Yeah.
racing out a car and driving around with abhorrent music at this ridiculous volume. It was cool just to see how he adapted his content over time,
100%.
and so he's definitely an inspiration. And then the third one, mm, mm. Sorry, just drinking my water.
No, you're all good.
um, last person. Actually, you know what? I'd probably give some credit to Smiley underscore Shyly, who's one of my Twitch friends. When I first started streaming, she had actually started streaming just prior to me. But what typically happens when you are a female gamer on Twitch, you get a bit more interest early on.
Yeah.
And so that can be that's both good and bad, because what often happens, unfortunately, for female gamers, I don't know why, it just seems to be a trend, is or girl gamers, I should say, women gamers, is that there's this peak quickly, and then it just kind of plateaus, and I don't know why,
Yeah.
and I've never figured it out. But she showed me what networking looks like when you're a streamer. I hadn't gone out of
Okay.
my way to go and talk to random people and all the and talk to all these people on Twitch to kind of start to build a little bit of a Twitch streamer community. But she found me, she raided me, and then I started talking to her in her chat and hanging out with her on Discord and stuff like that, back when I had time to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. So she taught me that it's really important to have a community on Twitch as well, and part of what makes Twitch so powerful is the people that are part of it. So I
100%.
learned
I think
very
it's just so
quickly.
cool that like
Yeah,
people that like you could be like, for example, me, and how I'm just I'm doing my thing, my little small stream thing, and then I find you, and now we have built like a community almost together. I mean,
exactly.
that's amazing, and how people all around the world, or whoever's streaming, or whatever, whoever's doing whatever, a bunch of people can just come together and build a big community.
Yeah, exactly. And the likes of the bigger streamers, of course, like XQC, Mizkif, and all of them, the guys that are at the top,
Yeah.
they do often uh collaborate. They were looking for collab, and that's quite cool. I know that Twitch knows it happens as well, because if you go into your analytics, you can see which channel most of your viewers come from.
Yeah.
Like which channels do your viewers have in common, and you can say, oh, blah blah blah, 50%, oh, 28%. So they know that it's very much a community thing as well. I don't know. I think Twitch gets a pretty hard rap at times, but I think they do some cool stuff, and they allow a
Oh
very
yeah,
cool
definitely.
platform for people to get to know each other.
So what is it like? Okay, this one you feel free not to answer one of them, but what is one thing that you dislike and like about streaming?
One thing I dislike and one thing I like about streaming. Okay. Dislike's gonna be hard, because I do actually find it hard to find things I don't like about streaming. I
That's fair.
think I will say that um one thing I don't like about streaming is, like I was saying earlier, the idea that you have to have so many viewers in order to be a successful streamer. That's something I dislike, is that expectation, because it's
Yeah.
actually very harmful, I think, when you're starting out, for people. One of the first things I did is turn off my view account. I never see my
Yeah.
view account. I only know how many people watched when I get my stream summary later, if I even look at that. Because
Definitely.
when I first started streaming, for a little while, I had the little counter there, and I'd be like, playing away, and then I could see myself starting this habit where I'd be quickly checking, hey, is anybody there? Hello, Luke. I really like you. Can you stick it up? Went back to zero. Fuck, like so.
That's the one thing that I think like people who start out streaming should not like be looking at. I think they should just focus mainly just on making content.
Exactly.
They shouldn't be looking at any of the numbers. No numbers.
No, not at all. Like for like if you think about, like, before streaming was a thing, before being a streamer, no one sat there and wondered, oh, I wonder if there's many people watching that YouTube video I put up earlier right now. Oh, what about right now? I wonder how many people are clicking on it right at this moment. That No, you just look at big number. You go, oh, big number, yeah. So the stress of like the anxiety, I think peak that can peak up on you, or exacerbate, we'll say,
Yeah.
is not good. Is not good. So that's one thing I don't like about streaming. But I
Yeah.
don't think it's streaming itself. I think that's what we've decided streaming is you have to have a big number in order to be a
I
successful
think if you're
streamer.
gonna be looking at numbers, you should be able to like not worry about it so much. I like
Exactly.
it's fine if you want to look at the numbers, but don't like be too upset about them,
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly right. Well, the thing is as well, to put it into context, I read an article somewhere where if you're getting 4 to 5 average viewers across, the career, we'll say, of your stream, then you're already in the top like 90% of streamers. And I'm like, holy shit, fucking hell! So you tell me there's a whole bunch of people streaming out there with 0 people all at once. God damn, that's not good, man.
Yeah,
But it's true because there's no cookie cutter way to be a streamer. So someone can start streaming, put a camera on themselves, and literally just sit there and not say a word. That might become a meme, and then suddenly they get a whole bunch of viewers. But
yeah,
the likelihood is they're just going to be sitting there, and and there's no such thing as the right or wrong way to stream. But we're all out here trying, even as viewers, to try find streamers that we find entertaining, and not everyone
exactly.
will find everyone's way of streaming entertaining, and it's the other. In terms of my thing I do like about streaming is, yeah, I think I'll go back to the routine thing. Actually, I like that people expect me to be here, and I want to be there, and I'm there, and we have a fun time, and I can chat to people live and on the go, and it's just a fun way of hanging out. I think streaming is an awesome fun way to hang out. I don't know if society realizes just how social streaming is
Yeah.
for for the streamer themselves, and actually for the viewers who are in the chat typing away, potentially jumping into games at times. It's very social, very social. I
That's one of
love
the
that.
things about like streaming is that one of the reasons why I became a streamer, wanted to become like a big streamer is because like back to what you were saying about how those people, there's still people out there that are streaming for like a month and have maybe accumulated like a total of like 5 viewers. I want to
Yeah.
be able to go out there and like let's just say I have like maybe like 123 people watching. I want to go to like one of those small streamers and just raid them and be like, "Here, I want you, because obviously you want to do this as well. I've been in those
Yeah.
shoes where I want to see progress, a lot of progress, and if I'm rating someone and I can and I can like chat with them and have fun with this person, then
Mm.
that will put a positive input on someone's for streaming. Like people that are like, this streaming thing isn't working, I'm just gonna stop. Like I don't think people should ever stop streaming, is because once you do have that like a community, it's fun to just chat to people, like you said.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, it's so much fun. And yeah, I would like to do that if I ever got to that anyway. One thing that my friends have asked me, um, like the likes of Snowforge, Pog, Chuggernaut, This Justice,
Yeah,
is, if you did go big, would you stop your day job? And I'm like, hell no, I would not. Like, let's say it's as unlikely as it is. Let's say I started to get a following to the extent that um I could go full time and be live more to make more money off people that were willing to give me their money. That's the moment, I think, where it becomes unfun.
100%.
I'm not saying I wouldn't try try it if it ever did get to that, but I would predict that I would quickly become very tired of streaming. I think that burnout is a huge thing when it comes to full-time streamers, because there's no downtime. You take a week off, mate, there goes 100 of your viewer base absolutely gone. Because while you're gone for a week, mate, they're sitting there crying because, oh, where's my streamer? Oh, I need to see my streamer, my favorite streamer. They
Yeah.
found someone else, and you know what? His dick's 2 inches longer than yours, so you're gone, bro. He don't care about you no more. So yeah, it's not something I think I'd ever do full time.
I think that's also a cool thing about like streaming is that you could like, let's say let's say you disappeared for like 2 weeks
Yeah.
and then you start streaming again. You will most likely see all of those people again, because I mean you're just a fun guy to watch. I mean, if you aren't following Suprazboy and if you're listening to this podcast and you haven't followed Suprazboy yet, you should be. What are you doing? He's a fun guy to watch. He interacts with chat all the time.
No, I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, I like when I moved house twice. When I sold my house and I moved into my little box. When I moved from my little box to where I am now, people came back, and I really appreciated that, because at the end of the day, in my head, when people aren't there, I'm sad because my viewers are my friends. And I'm like,
Yeah.
where my friends gone?
And you aren't sure if they're gonna. You aren't sure if they're gonna be like back.
No, because they don't have to be back, and
Exactly.
I don't expect them to be. But that doesn't mean I won't be sad when they're not there. So yeah, it was cool to see everyone's still there, and people come and go all the time. Like I won't use any names because this isn't on my own stream.
Yeah.
This is a podcast, but like certain names that you guys will be familiar with that moved, like a certain person that moved from Saudi Arabia back to Canada, and she hasn't been able to come on anymore. Even now and then she jumps in. I'm like, whoa, and I think, wow, last time she was in here, I also had this person, this person, this person,
Yeah.
and my chat was completely different. Everyone was making lewd comments out the wazoo. Everyone's talking about dicks and like cooming and like my stream still got that, yes, but it's a lot more of a subtle subtle undertone now. But
Yeah.
chat and stream is dictated so much by the people watching it. I think.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, for the remaining time,
appreciate
do you have any questions for us?
Okay.
For me,
So you
Turtle,
guys
or
have been doing
Jakey?
this. You guys, maybe just a general question to you guys. You guys have been doing this podcast for, I think this is your third or fourth episode now, is it?
This is our fourth.
Fourth, yeah. So you haven't been doing it very long, and I think that it's I think it's very similar to content creation in terms of being a streamer. That you when I first started streaming, I evolved very quickly and changed my stream very quickly. There was like a huge learning curve.
Yeah.
Have you guys encountered anything like that yet? Like a learning curve of like, fuck, we need to do that like that, and now we've learned that and that.
I guess as like the person that because I record it and everything, and then I upload it to everywhere that we need to. I've had to learn, like, I mean, it's not too much of learning, but I needed to learn to just take this MP4, because I mean we record the screen and then we transfer it to an audio file so we can upload it to Spotify.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So we also had to learn how to because we're not very social people out of streaming, and we kind of have to learn to I guess come up with our own topics, and that's what really brought us down the first couple episodes. Definitely, it's because we barely could keep this alive for like an hour.
Yeah.
At like towards the end,
quickly realized.
towards the
Yeah,
end,
I
it
just
was just
thought
like
of them midway
garbage.
through.
Yeah,
Like,
and that'll happen. I think
Alyssa and Jaden were like thinking of topics beforehand, and then I would just think of them midway through and say them randomly.
Nice. But you guys, like, have you guys watched any other podcasters? Like, for
I listened
example,
to a
Mr. T?
couple. I listened to Goons. I listened to. I used to listen to the Misfits. Stopped listening to them for a while.
I think I've heard of that one actually. What I would say, one thing that would be cool, that kind of like a homework I'd recommend for you guys is take one of your favorite podcasters and go watch their first episode, and that'll kind of make you guys feel better about the situation, because I think you'll build chemistry with each other. You guys know each other really well anyway,
Yeah.
but you'll build chemistry when it comes to once you hit that boom, we're recording, and you'll get better at being able to bounce off each other. Like, one of the greatest things about podcasting, I think, is one question is asked, and then fucking suddenly 20 minutes later we're talking about the fucking emergence of the elephants and how they became
Exactly.
a species.
See, you
like,
get it.
Yeah. So and that just takes time. Honestly, that just takes time.
100%.
And I think as in podcasting, nothing you say is stupid. If it's stupid, it's funny. It's not stupid, therefore it's just cool. It's just
That's a
nice.
bold
It's just
assumption that
background
you say that nothing we say is stupid when you're on the Invalid Nit-Wits podcast.
noise. So like anything in your head, if you think about saying it, I don't think you should filter yourselves too much. You should just be like, fuck.
Oh, I don't ever. I mean, I don't know how it got here, but I do have like the list of like questions, and at the very bottom it just says hot dog burgers.
Yeah.
What? Why did I say that? Oh, you get American hot dogs, right? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because we call them American hot dogs. Because
We just
you
call
guys
them
call
hot
them just
dogs.
fucking hot dogs because you're American. But
What's the
yeah, American
difference
hot dogs are
between
my
an
favorite.
American hot dog and a New Zealand hot dog?
Okay, so you guys know corn dogs, right?
Yeah.
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 And they're basically like a sausage on a stick with like batter on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Or
a
hot
hot
dog
dog.
on stick.
That's a
Yeah,
hot
that's
dog
a
for
hot
you?
dog. Whereas an American hot dog is like a frankfurter in a bun with some mustard, tomato sauce or ketchup,
Is this
and a
American
little
hate?
bit of onion. No. American hot dogs are my favorite. One of my favorite things I used to buy when I was at high school, when I started my little like first little job was buying American hot dogs from like
I'm never eating
the
them. I'm never eating hot
shop.
dogs again. I've seen what a hot dog looks like under a microscope.
Oh, processed meat is fucking terrible for you. Like, but in New Zealand we have quite a range of products in terms of like hot dogs. So you can get They're called frankfurters, by the way. The sausage in a hot dog.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I did not.
So it's a frankfurter. It's actually, I believe it might be German. That would be its origin. So you can get German frankfurters, a brand in New Zealand called Verkerks, Verkerks frankfurters, and they're far better quality. They're not all processed and stuff, but they taste very different. Like I imagine it's one of those products that if I went to the States, apart from the bread tasting really sweet because American
We throw sugar in
products
everything.
typically have a lot of sugar and everything. Yeah, exactly. I'd say the frankfurter or the sausage itself would taste pretty similar. But you can make more healthy options. Like you can change to a wholemeal bread. You can have
Yeah.
like a Vercook's frankfurter, which is more costly but a better quality meat. But yeah, American hot dogs. I rate them. I would have a piece of shit frankfurter and the cheap ones. They're like honestly like 100 grams is like 98 cents, which is cheap in New Zealand. And you smack that in the bun with a bit of sauce, a bit of American mustard, because we call it American mustard. You guys call it mustard, but mustard, of course, is comes from a mustard seed that's
Yeah.
ground down or whole grain. So we call it American mustard because it's all squished up and it's milder.
All right. Any other questions?
I actually have a question for Soupy here, Suprazboy.
Yeah.
What is the most strange fact that you have heard about, like, through meeting different viewers from the United States, not even just like us? What is the strangest thing you've heard that you just would have never known beforehand about the US?
About the US. Um, I think one of the things we talked about quite a bit is like you guys are scared of doctors. And I never really thought about it really that hard, and that's just my privilege showing is that in New Zealand, of course, healthcare is paid for by the government. You don't pay anything. You go to the hospital, they pay for it. You
Oof.
you get like you get your kidney stones removed. You're good, bro. Yeah, no, that's paid for. That's all done. Whereas like I know you guys have talked about it. I'll say like, oh, you should really see a doctor. It's like, you fucking said what? It's like, yeah, a doctor, the people that you see that save your fucking life. No, okay,
No, absolutely not.
But like, it's so much money, and I get that now. Like, I guess that's something. So I'm kind of curious, how much would you guys expect if you just went for like a checkup at the doctor? How much would
Bro,
that cost?
a checkup is like easily probably over $100.
With my
Depending,
insurance,
depending on what you're checking up.
so with my insurance, including my insurance, which is a pretty good insurance around here. I get it through my dad and he works in healthcare. Um, For a trip to urgent care, it is, I believe, $60, and a trip to the ER, it is $50, and that's like with really good health insurance, where they cover
Damn,
part of it.
that's fucked up.
Yeah, if you don't have
That's
health
really fucked
insurance
up.
here, you're fucked.
You are SOL.
We have health insurance in New Zealand as well, but that actually covers you. Basically, if you ever have something that requires operation, you can go to private hospitals, which are not in the public health sector, which are far
Okay.
nicer and fancier. So if you pay a little
Um,
bit for health insurance, you get to go to a fancy hospital.
Yeah, I
so
believe.
in America, a lot of people don't actually know about it, but there are a bunch of different like things that take care of medical expenses if you can't afford it, like to take care of them for you. It's just that
Oh,
not many people use them or know about them. But there's
right.
like a
It's not
bunch of
common
them.
knowledge. Oh, that's good. That's good.
I think for another example for like how much things cost healthcare wise, when I got my wisdom teeth removed, when I got my molars, I don't know the difference very well, but when I got those removed after my insurance, it costed me about 650 US dollars.
Damn.
For New Zealand, that's a little bit under 1,000.
Yeah, shit.
Yes, pretty much.
Dentistry is probably one example of where like we still have to pay. Dentistry isn't included in healthcare, which is so ridiculous because if your teeth are not well, you can get very unwell. People have died from like infections in their jaw
Yeah.
from having like a bung tooth that like has died.
I think
Mhm.
I've
So
only
it's
been to the dentist 3 times in my life.
Oh,
probably
that's
me as
not
well.
good.
Although to be fair, 18 from 18 up until 18 you get free health dentist care. But after that, you're fucked basically. Um
Do they
like
just consider it a cosmetic thing or?
yeah, it's never been included in healthcare and they've just kind of gone along with it and it's like, well, kind of untrue, but like if they added that to the healthcare ration package basically, then that money has to come from somewhere and it has to come out of our taxes. So it either we have to deprive another area of government around New Zealand, another sector, or we have to start asking people for more tax. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a hard one, but
That is
man,
the thing about the
I'm
world, is that how like
skeptical.
money just makes the world spin. People say money doesn't fix everything, but no, money is literally one of the most essential things in the world.
It is, yeah, because like money can be translated into absolutely anything. Money can equal manpower. Money can equal food. Money can equal a roof over your head. Money
Exactly.
can even equal, you know, sex. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's everything.
Yeah.
There's a saying in New Zealand that people say. I don't know if it's the same in I was almost going to say Australia. You guys are in Australia, what the fuck?
In
In
the
the States,
States?
but yeah, and that is cash is king. So whenever you're trading something, it's like if you have cash, I'm far more interested in Johnny with his little two-stroke lawnmower down the road swapping me for my fridge freezer. It's like, no, money, because money can literally be used for anything. That's the whole
Yeah.
point it was created. So like back in the day we used to barter. It's like, all right, my name's Michael and I'm a fisherman and I've got 10 fish, but I need at
Give me your
least 2
goat.
loaves of bread to feed my daughter and she's pregnant with twins. So I need at least 2 breads. Excuse me, baker. Can I please have 2 breads for 1 fish? Oh, actually, mate, I've already got fish. I don't actually need it. Oh, well, fuck. What do you need? Oh, a bit of cheese. All right, so fuck off to the cheese guy. Hey, cheese guy, can I give you this and you give me some cheese if I give you this fish? Oh, no, mate, I actually need some gherkins. I want to, if I can make some hot dogs,
And yeah, and
American hot dogs specifically.
that's the exact
And you
thing.
go
It's just
around and
like
around and around.
Yeah,
it's a
not
lot
everybody's
easier
gonna
to
want what what
it's
you're
gonna be easier to
bartering
give money.
versus
It's a
everybody's
necessary
gonna want
evil.
money.
Because we specialize. Nobody does everything. Nobody lives. No, well, I won't say nobody, but most people don't live off the grid. Make their own bread, catch their own fish. Um, build their own house. Everyone specializes,
It's because
so
there's
they're
like
very
government
good.
everywhere. So I mean, it's like it's hard to live off the
Mm,
grid. I mean, no matter where you go now, it's just there's going to be like government property.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's just one of those things. It's a necessary evil.
Yeah,
I think that money. Of course, naturally. I don't think money hurts people. People hurt people in the name of money.
definitely.
That's just people being
True.
people. Like, even if you took money away, let's say, okay, so, Russian mafia, kill a man for $100,000. If they weren't killing a man for $100,000, they'd be killing a man for what they were planning on using that $100,000 to obtain, be it
Yeah.
cocaine. I don't know. So it's a necessary evil, and it's not evil in and of itself. It's just the people associated with it.
Well, do you have any other questions for any of us, any specific person or us in general about the podcast, about streams, about day-to-day life?
No, I think I've done bloody did myself. I think I've run out of topics.
All right. Well, then I guess that is going to conclude the Invalid Nit-Wits podcast with our guest Suprazboy. Go check him out on Twitch. You can find myself, Turtle, and Suprazboy all on Twitch. Turtle the Turtle, Suprazboy, and Cognizant Control. Jakey Boy, you can find him in either Turtle or I stream.
And you can follow my Twitch account, Jakey Boy Zulu, which doesn't have any videos.
Drop him a follow anyway. A fun game for all of the viewers to play. Anybody who listens to this podcast is put a tally down every time you hear 100% from anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%,
Hopefully we catch you guys in the next episode. See you guys.
Thank you so much, guys.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.